Larson here, and I'm at the photo booth to revisit my collection of translucent action figures. This was something I took a look at all the way back in the very first episode of Dan in the Photo Booth, almost 3 years ago to the day. It's just barely over 3 years. I had just acquired this second version of the translucent Ninja from the Metal Gear Solid line, and in that video I ended up talking about how much I like translucent figures, and then I ended up piling up everything else I had at the time. There is one figure missing here. I do have a Hero Mashers Iceman. I don't know where it is right now, so it is not included. I have since acquired a few more clear action figures. This video is not a comprehensive catalog of every translucent or clear action figure that has ever been made, and I am by no means attempting to build that collection. It's more like, I like figures, and some figures work really well as translucent. I do not want all translucent figures. Just making something clear does not automatically give it, what it takes to make it a good figure or something I want to spend my money on. There's a lot of Toy Biz Marvel Legends that are clear that I do not have any interest in owning, although I do still need the two variants of the Super Skrull. And this might be splitting hairs, but I really like the ones that are clear more than opaque. Like this Mask Split Seconds figure is really on that line. I like when you can really see through them. I like when they look like candy and I want to eat them. This guy is almost like, he's almost more pearlescent than clear, but if you hold him up to the light, he's clear, so I'm going to let that slide. So we've got Marvel Legends Radioactive Man, Blight, who also qualified for Glow in the Dark, Crystar. I have his gear somewhere. I couldn't find it when I was setting up just now. A couple of Kenner Mask Split Seconds figures. They did a sort of a wave where they everybody had the ability to like clone themselves and project holograms of themselves. Tron Sentry, two different versions of the Metal Gear Solid McFarlane Toys Ninjas, and then two different versions of the old Toy Biz 90s X-Men. Iceman. This is a Diamond Select Toy Fair exclusive, I believe, Toy Fair the magazine. Spike from Buffy. I never got into the show, but it's a cool figure. And then Human Torch here in the back. Beyond that, here's some pieces I've added to the collection. We've got classic Necroplasm Spawn. This dude is not going to stand up. Actually, I just took him out of the package for this. Good enough for this video. I don't know why I was keeping him in the box, but I was. We've got this Iceman. Oh, I just lost his foot. Let's put his foot back on. Toy Biz put out a couple of different versions of Iceman when they still had that 90s line rocking. In fact, here's the other version. And this was when Iceman was going through all that. His powers were kind of like messed up. And he was taking on different forms and creating different kinds of crazy weapons and whatnot. We've got another McFarlane figure here. I'm going to be honest, I do not remember this dude's name. I know that there were two versions of him. There was this blue version and then the exact same figure, but the blue parts were red. And he's got some cool gear. And weirdly enough, I don't know why I'm putting him so far in the foreground there. One of the more articulated figures from that era. And even though he is pretty well articulated, you still can't really do that much with him in terms of posing. We've got an old Shadow figure from the Alec Baldwin Shadow movie. He shields his... Look at all this cat hair on here. He shields himself while he squeezes his legs together, and he shields himself and puts his gun out. But he's cool. He's translucent. He's the Shadow. Let's see if we can get him to stand. Probably not. Hey, look at that. Now he's blocking Spawn. All right, we've got... Zevos had quite a few translucent figures. They were big on the translucents. This is Cryo Katana. Cryo Katana. Got, and I'm blanking on this dude's name right now, but he's another one. They had so many translucent parts. Usually end up having to put him in a 3-point stance just to get him to stand. We've got this guy. I gotta move a lot faster here, otherwise this is gonna be like a half-hour video. I was hoping to be able to show them all, but this frame is gonna fill up real quick. We've got Marvel Legends, Human Torch, and Space Ghost. Oh boy. Oh boy. Should have started with the camera higher up. This guy, one of my absolute favorites, Light Hope, technically from She-Rise, from the Masters of the Universe Classics line. Absolutely love him. Love the armor. Love the clear plastic. Everything about him is good. We've got the Flash from Kingdom Come. This dude never, ever stands. Hey, look at that. First time for everything. Tiny Darth Maul here. He's one of those ones that's borderline, a little bit more opaque than I would like. He's not going to stand up, but he's clear. He's, you know, hologram, but holograph, whatever. But I do wish he was a little bit more clear. We've got Martian Manhunter from the old JLU line. He's not going to stand. I'm pretty sure there's a different version of this too, where he's actually got some colored parts that are clear. So he's his regular colors, but those parts are all translucent as well. We've got Marvel Legends Iceman. There they go. Singularity. We've got Tiny Gentleman Ghost. We've got Bane from the Arkham Asylum game, I think. Plus he's got the additional bonus of Painted on Skeleton. So that's just a must-have figure all around. We've got the Fwooshes, Articulated Icons, Smoke Ninja. This is just a poorly executed plan from the outset. Realm of the Underworld. I do not remember what this dude's name is. Actually got quite a few of these translucent figures. We did a video of them pretty early on in the channel, and they were nice enough to hook us up with quite a few samples to take a look at, and they were all translucent versions, and that was awesome. Got a Boss Fight Studios, Helios. I can't remember what his name is. I'm trying to move this along, and I'm getting mixed up on names. We've got Fire, also from JLU, Justice League Unlimited. We've got Ben10 figures, names that I do not know. We've got more Crystar, Warbow, I believe his name is. This was a custom Boba Fett piece for me that I featured in one of our videos here. This was another piece that was just recently sent in to the show. Tigra from Thundercats. We've got Tron, Sark. We've got Shadow Trooper, who I thought, who also from a recent P.O. Box video, I thought this was him getting electrocuted. It turns out he's actually just, that's sort of the manifestation of his powers, I guess, his suit. We've got another Boss Fight Studios figure, Spirit of the Dead piece, classic Fisher-Price Adventure People. I don't know, I can't remember what they call these, aliens or robots. I think she's a robot. And God, they never stand. I would have to say one of the earliest versions of translucent action figure that I can think of. Not really sure who else would have been using it earlier other than something like possibly Micronauts might have been a little bit earlier. But there's a male version of that figure as well. And then, of course, we've got a Fisher-Price Octopus. We've got Amazo, also from JLU. We've got Toy Pizzas. I think this is Stealth Knight. With some translucent gear on there as well. We've got a Green Lantern. We've got Stealth Predator. We've got another Boss Fight Studios clear female figure with she's got some translucent, and I think her gear actually glows in the dark as well. This guy who was recently featured in a flea market finds, just a weird motorcycle riding skeleton with translucent body parts. We've got two different Iceman figures, 3 3/4 inch. I think technically one of these is Marvel Universe, and the other was part of, I think, one of the X-Men lines, Wolverine or Logan or something like that. More Ben10, more Crystar. And then for some reason I actually have another one of these blue Iceman figures here. I don't know how that happened. I know how that happened. I went to the flea market, I saw one and said, I'm buying it. I don't care if I already have one. But yeah, there's quite a few, quite a bit of Iceman representation going on here. But that, that's honestly, God, look how delicious this screen looks right now. That's not even, I honestly don't even think that's all the translucent figures I own right now. I feel like I still have a couple others. I know there's that Hero Masters Iceman I mentioned at the top, and there's got to be more. I went through my bins and grabbed everything I could think of. But I'm always on the lookout. But like I said, I'm not trying to get them all. Key wants list. Most wanted: Marvel Legends Ghost from the 2013 Comic-Con Thunderbolt set. There's a Judge Death figure from just after Toy Biz lost the Marvel Legends license when Hasbro took that on and they were doing the classic heroes or whatever. They did I have the regular version, but they also did a clear version of Judge Death that I would love to get my hands on. And then NECA has done several Predators and Alien, that Mantis Alien figure. I never grabbed that one. There's a lot more Ben10 and Transformers and other Star Wars reaction. It's a fun collection to build that I don't actively seek out. But when I see stuff, I grab it. Anyway, and some of you have been nice enough to send a few pieces in as well, and I genuinely appreciate that. This collection has grown quite a bit in the last 3 years, and I'm looking forward to see what it looks like in the next 3 years. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you to those who are. Thank you to all of our patrons, whose names you should be seeing scrolling by on screen now. Head over to patreon.com/ToyGalaxy today if you'd like to join them, and let me know down in the comments what your favorite clear or translucent figure is, if you have one. Anyway, thanks. Later.